I hope to come through the experience having gained an experience I didn't have before, that I'm going to learn and grow from. And even though there are days that I'd like to spend all day in my room, I can't do that. And the role that has been carved for me, that I have carved for myself, that was a niche that somehow needed to be filled, and I was there at the time, and it filled it to a certain extent. I can't walk away from that. I'm committed to that.
Well, I think the worry would be, you know, the tendency to obsess and perseverate might be somewhat tempting, you know, but I believe as Kelsey's grown older, she doesn't go back to those old routines, but she understands she had them now, don't you? You're starting to understand. You did certain things, but you're getting away from those. So it takes a while to process, but you know, what she's had to learn. You know, I know Kelsey at school goes through a social curriculum. She's got an emotional curriculum, and then she's got the regular academic curriculum she has to work on. And I'm sure Marty's gone through much of the same thing. You know, things that most of us find just routine or natural have to be learned and put in lists for, you know, for Kelsey, and I'm sure for many people with ASDs. I'm glad there are opportunities out there. I don't necessarily think that people with autism are always going to be that much different. They're not any different on the inside. It's just the way they communicate with the rest of the world. So the fact that you have someone playing a person with autism, I think should be much more what's the word? Real, original, no, authentic. It's going to be much more authentic, and there's no doubt that the talent will be there.
Practice is very important. I'm a firm believer in practice. And there's different ways you can practice. You don't just practice one way. You create different scenarios. You explore. I use the word explore a lot. Explore different ways. One might feel very exciting and dangerous, but underneath it, it's safe. So then once you explore, let's say you explore it many different ways, and then you get the way that gives you what you want and that sense of danger or whatever you want, but you realize they're safe.
I think she's practiced her whole life just to try to fit into society and our societal rules. She has tried to act the part that people expect her to act so she can get by and fit in. I don't think it's a stretch at all playing a part in a movie after that.
People need to see that a person with autism is just a person with autism. It's, you know, they can still complete a task. They can still follow directions. They can still do something amazing. That it's just a disability, just like having epilepsy is a disability, you know, that you deal with, or having ADHD, you know, you do what you can to deal with it, and Marty has dealt with it. Marty has really kind of done it head on, you know, just full force. I don't know her to do it any other way. She just is larger than life herself. I think that by placing her in that role, and being able to portray something that she doesn't want to be, but kind of still is, I think it's going to be pretty powerful.
I think beyond method actors, all actors to some degree rely upon their own emotions to be able to convey a story and to develop a character. And I think that it's pretty exciting territory when you're dealing with somebody like Marty, especially when you think of the intensity of her emotions and where she has come from and where she is now. It's almost the volatility of this situation is exciting to me, and Graham has this ability. He has been able to somehow connect with her in such an intimate fashion that she's giving a performance that I don't think a seasoned actor could possibly turn in.
I think that it's important for the general public and for the autism community both especially for parents who have children who are very young and don't know what that future can hold. I think it'd be very good for the public perception to know going in that an individual with autism is playing this part and is capable of playing this part, even if she is portraying autism at a different level than what she is. It's important for people to understand that autism comes in many different levels, because there is this movement of, we have Asperger's, we have autism, we love us, don't try to change us. But at the same time, we have the kids who are so severely affected that their parents maybe get to sleep 3 hours a night because the child will escape, or is smearing feces on the wall, or is breaking windows, and they haven't found a way to get to that child yet. There's a huge spectrum. I think it's important for people to see that, to know the abilities there and that. And I would hope that they would take away from that, seeing that anything's possible. If anything, I truly believe that they probably feel more than we do, that they're exaggerated beings of us. You know, if it affects us this much, it affects them this much. And for them to learn how to regulate and control that, it breaks my heart to think of how much they're overlooked, and that lowering the expectations for them. The thought of the generations of kids who had autism just automatically being locked in residential homes, and what must have been going through their minds all those years. I mean, and the thought of the future of my child, what will happen to him. Those all break my heart. Marty and Austin and the families and the children that I have met have taught me so much about humanity, and they're just raw human beings. I mean, they lay it out there the way it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you know what, we're not putting on any shows for anybody, and it's so refreshing to be with them. And I don't care how involved they are, because they are just as black and white, and it's refreshing. And the things that they, because of my son, he's taught me what I can be, what I can do. I've reached a potential that I would have never even dreamed of 12 years ago.
If you have your own sense of values and integrity and know who you are and do the best you can do, I think you're playing the game the best you can. I think there may be some rules that you take in and you do to the best you can, and there may be some that you can't, and that's okay.
Well, the good thing about Kelsey is she seems to be happy where she's at in life, and I don't think she's asking for Park Place or Boardwalk. She's happy back on Baltic with her family, and just enjoys life. She enjoys the moment. So she's got that going for us that most of us don't have. She enjoys the moment better than anybody I've ever known. So sometimes makes it hard to get places. She's enjoying every moment, aren't you? Yeah.